From the combined crew of blindandroidusers.com and accessibleandroid.com, it's time for your favorite Android podcast. Kick back now and enjoy another fine episode from these fanboys and gals as they navigate Android from a blindness perspective. And now, here's your crew. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 242 of the Blind Android Users Podcast. We're recording today, July 26, 2025, and this is our third quarter open listener session. And we're delighted that we have friends, listeners join us, and some developers who are able to join us. I'll let our friend Sally, though, introduce people as they come in, or rather introduce those that are already here. And Sally, you want to get to our guests and introduce them and have them introduce themselves.
All right, guys, welcome first. And I'm going to start with Abdala. Please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from, please.
Hello all, this is Abdallah from Iraq, from the Blind Gamers team. We are the developers of TableEx gaming platform. Thank you for having us for the second time on your podcast.
All we know is that it won't be the last time. Thank you so much. And Elisa, how are you? Can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Yes, my name is Alyssa Holmes. I am from the mountains of North Carolina, and I'm close to Asheville. I am a college student, new to Mac in some ways, learning Android quite well, and very sufficient on Apple, and I want to get more familiar with the Android platform.
That's great.
And I'm a college student.
That's great. Candy, can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from, please?
Sorry, is that me?
Yeah,
Yes,
is that
that's
you?
I'm Candy. I live in Surrey in the UK. I've used Android devices off and on for several years, but I'm really big into the Pixel now, and actually about to learn Chromebook as well. And thank you.
Did you
That's
buy
great.
it? Did you get it?
No, not yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
All right. Dave, are you with us? Can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Yes. My name is Dave. I'm from Northeast Ohio. My twin brother has been on this podcast before, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
So our last name is Toth, like both.
Okay.
Not
Yeah, I
like
remember
flop.
that one.
Oh my gosh, you sound so much like Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
This is unbelievable.
Who would have thought twins sound the same?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, I know, right?
I've never seen that before.
What a crazy thing.
People
So,
actually
Dave, you
can't
have
tell
a
me and my
twin?
brother apart at all by our voices.
You have a
and we
twin that
aren't
you can't
twins.
tell. That's awesome.
Yeah, identical twins. Yes.
Me
Oh
and
my
my
gosh.
twin, nobody could tell us apart when we lived in America, when she lived in the States and she would talk, but she went to Britain and now she has a slightly different accent. So now they can tell us apart.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome to the twin club, I guess.
Yes.
So we have Lillian with us. Can you tell us where you're from and introduce yourself, please?
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Lillian Fidler, and I'm in Canada, on the east coast of Canada. We're the oldest city in North America and the most easterly point in all of North America as well.
So, did you
my
listen to the
God.
episode that I was celebrating the Canada Day, but no one else did?
No, I didn't
my.
actually. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I was Lillian. I was asking him. We were not sure when Canada became
I was
independent.
exactly sure even before the show. Yeah, I was. I knew that I was celebrating.
Warren
the
is so
Canada Day.
U.S. focused, we have to remind him there's other countries.
Well, we're trying to make them the 51st state.
Yes, absolutely. I'd be all for it myself.
Yeah.
So
I always do
when
one for
Canada
Canada.
become independent, Lillian. I'm always wanting to learn.
It's July the
Well,
1st.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yes.
what year?
Oh my goodness.
97. Like
Yeah.
67, sorry. 67, 1867, right?
1867?
Yeah.
Do you
Earlier
know
than you.
you know something though?
No, what are you talking about?
Yes.
No. The U.S. was 1770.
1776. Yeah, Sally.
Sally, you need more geography, my man.
Well,
Uh,
I don't know.
Or history.
No, it's
We're-
not. It's not geography. It's history.
We're actually in Newfoundland, and we only joined Canada in 1949, if you can believe that. So,
Oh, my world.
yeah, so we're,
Wow.
but we're way older. We're really old here. We're the oldest city in all of North America.
You have that big airport, right?
Yeah, Gander
the
International
famous one.
Airport. Yep, exactly.
It's
And-
famous because the Titanic went off the coast of Newfoundland.
Yes, that's right. And this is where
And-
Marconi received the first transatlantic wireless signal. Right here.
Oh,
I can
that's
see it
right.
from here. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So-
Wow. Wow. That's
Yeah, it's
amazing.
an interesting place.
I've
And
been
then
to
didn't
New
you have all those
Brunswick.
planes land on 9/11 too?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
That's right. And Lillian, you are the you guys have that random Bible verse picker, something we demonstrated here like a couple months or so ago. It's a great app, guys. If you haven't had it, you should have it. It's not a subscription based. It's just 99 cents. Not even enough to buy a cup of coffee. So yeah.
Should I continue or in introducing
Yeah,
others? We got Mackenzie with us.
Hello, my name, I'm Mackenzie Parker, and I'm here from Sierra Vista, Arizona. You guys have seen me on the podcast doing.
It was
the-
like yesterday.
yeah, it does feel like yesterday, and what's funny though is that Philip went like what 2 episodes after me, if I'm not miscalculated, right? Was that right? Like
Maybe
2 or 3?
even even one.
Maybe,
I
like,
think it was
Yeah.
the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one. Yeah, 1 or 2 episodes after me. So like we're like, I guess we're like just apart from each other in terms of episodes. I guess.
well, it's been a long way though. Yeah, you're welcome again. Philip,
Hello.
welcome again once more.
Thank you so much. Should I introduce myself too?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So my name is Philip Bennefall. I'm a software developer from Stockholm, Sweden, and I build text-to-speech solutions.
So let's give us a short reminder of what was your name of the app that you're developing.
Oh, so it's not an app as such. Right
Mhm.
now, the voices are available for Windows, but I am working on other platforms, obviously including Android is the first one I'm going to target. So still working on that. But yeah, the voices are just called the Blastbay text-to-speech engine, and there are there are 2 US English voices available at this time, with more to come.
Yeah.
You should develop one that they should insist be put on the Kobo reader, because I heard Kobo readers are not accessible for blind users.
Yeah, might be something to look into.
We got Roadbirds here. Can you introduce yourself for us?
Great, and thanks for inviting us again. My name is Muhammed from Egypt. I'm one of the TableEx team. So thanks for inviting us again.
It's nice to have you with us again. How's the
Thanks.
progress of TableEx? Are you enjoying?
I think we moved a lot since
Yeah.
the last. Yes. the
Can you
last
give us a
podcast.
little spoiler of what's going on, like in a short while, please? Like what you've done recently.
We added some games and some features to make that platform more
You added
stable.
Farkle. I like it.
Yeah, Farkle, Ludo, Motor Strike, a lot of games to make it more fun and more stable also for the people. Like added some features like clock and other things to make it, safe and stable for all the users.
That's amazing. Keep up the
Wonderful.
good work. So, Swakey Salves, how are you?
Hey, Sveiki. So yeah, I'm Salvis, calling in from heart of Baltic states, Latvia. So happy to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here because whenever we have a listener session, you're always with us. Keep it up. Thank you so much.
Yes, and by the way, happy anniversary to Accessible Android.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So we got Sinashish with us.
Yep. Hello, everyone. This is Snehashish from.
Did I pronounce it right?
No, it's not afternoon. It's 9:30.
No, did I pronounce your name right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, that's good. And yeah, so I'm from the state of West Bengal, India, to be more specific, from Calcutta. And I would like to, remember once again our late friend, especially since we belong to the same country, Austin. I believe that we all are missing him a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a very it was a very regretful moment for me that I was one of the persons who sent the reaction too late. I don't think that whether I'll be able to forget myself or not.
It's okay. I don't believe that Austin would be mad at you, but
exactly.
frankly, I know I was a little bit mad at you guys in India because it was the least place that we had any condolences coming from the blind community.
Yeah, we felt like maybe he's not like appreciated in his homeland.
Was kind of blown away that that behavior came from India. I don't know, but anyway, you've been a faithful guy, and we do appreciate you, Snehashish. Thank you so much. For joining us in India. I know it's very late, and I have a huge respect for you guys coming from India because it's dinner time out there. It's way past. It's bedtime, I should say. Really. So, thank you. For
in fact, I have a program. That is why I have to, wake up a little bit early morning tomorrow. But yeah, I am, too happy that, I'm finally, on this third open listener session. Previously, I mailed on our mailing list that I was unable to join due to, the time zone issue and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's glad to have you back again.
Yeah.
Not last but not least, we have our co-host, my fellow co-host, John Dyer. How are you, John?
Good. Just been a pretty relaxed week. Hot here in Virginia, but that's no surprise.
Same here, definitely hot in Turkey. I mean, wherever you go, you feel the sun.
It's been over 100 with heat index. So
oh my gosh. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And Warren, how are you though?
I'm doing good. So yesterday
I'm stealing the show today.
Yeah, we finally laid my friend to rest. Finally, the one that passed away June 30.
Yeah,
and so I was the one doing the eulogy yesterday, and I'm still kind of, for some reason, I got kind of worn out. It was so emotional for me. I'd never done anything like this. So, but I'm glad it's behind us now, and learning to live again and move on.
Mm-hmm. That's what we can do.
Well, thank you so much, Sally, for that wonderful introduction.
Always here for help.
Yeah. Sally, how about you? Are you doing okay in Samsung City with those phones stacked to the ceiling?
Yeah. Just a reminder for everyone who doesn't know the story, my city is just 1G less from Samsung. So we are enjoying being a neighbor from Samsung. Everything is good here. It's very hot these days. And yeah, that's all I can say. It's been a busy week for me as well. Getting ready for something big here. You will know what I mean. So
yeah.
So Salas, since the G is missing, if you buy a Samsung phone there, does it not have Google services?
Come on, we
Is
Exactly.
it like the Huawei version of Samsung devices?
The big G on the back is gone.
all you do is like when you buy a Samsung phone in Samsung, the search engine is called Google.
Google.
Yeah, there's maybe a Sunville. Uh, And now, the announcement segment. This is a segment dedicated to things we want you to be in the know. And now for this week's episode, here's your announcements. For our announcements, we're just kind of celebrating the second anniversary of accessibleandroid.com. This is our sister site, so we work hand in hand together. So identical twins like Dan and Dave Toth. And I'm still I can't believe it. I'm still not convinced.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Hey, why is there a sister site but not a brother site?
Well,
good one.
Let's not get into gender.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too controversial.
It's always been a
around,
sister.
but-
I think because sisters are more genteel.
Yeah.
Brothers play too rough, and so
Exactly.
I
So
think that's
we've
why.
been always so nice to each other from the get-go, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so congratulations to Accessible Android for turning
Yeah, cheers.
2. And the nice side, guys, if you're hearing us for the first time about Accessible Android, please take your time to navigate to accessibleandroid.com. Lots of written content. For those of you that do not like to listen to audio, that will be your heaven. Thank you so much, Sally. And congratulations to both you and Karen for the hard work that you guys have put on here on accessibleandroid.com.
You want to know this?
Carrie didn't make it today, did she?
No, she couldn't make it.
She has a date today. Just kidding. She'll cut my head off, but
No.
I like using Karen. So she's done some work. She
No,
needed
just be
to get
careful.
done, so, yeah. Welcome to the Spotlight segment. This is a segment dedicated to interviews with developers or interesting happenings in the world of Android. And now for this week's episode, here's your Spotlight. So let's go ahead, though, and start with you guys, developers. Philip, let's start with you, and we'll end with a sweet one. That's a pretty girl from Canada. And Philip, let's start with you, my man. You're the Blastbay boy. I call you the Blastbay boy because
I'll take
you're
it.
from blastbay.com and working on lots of projects, and most especially planning or already starting work on the one that we're most excited about. We're excited for both the Windows and the one that's going to be coming. Talk to us about that. I know you've talked to us about it, but if someone is just hearing us for the first time, kind of tell them a little bit about your project.
Philip, before you start, I just want to say thank you once again, because I can see that Stripe payment is available on your website, just an alternative to PayPal. So for those who cannot use PayPal in their countries, they can pay with their credit card. That's a great job. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, I realized I had to set that up because I was getting emailed from people saying, can't place the order. So yeah, I went up, and Stripe is surprisingly easy to set up. Anyways,
Yeah.
so to start off, like I said in the introduction, my name is Philip Bennefall, and I am from Sweden. And for the last few years, I've been developing text-to-speech voices that on commission, but more recently for end users. And as I said, they're currently available for Windows. There's a U.S. English male and a U.S. English female called Richard and Libby, and they're available from blastbay.com. They're a bit interesting for those of you who may know these older synthesizers such as Deck Talk. It's actually the same technology as those in terms of how the
That's actually
synthesis.
what I'm using right now, is
Yeah.
TikTok on my phone.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and it's actually very, very similar in terms of how the synthesis is performed. Except
Yeah.
it's now driven by one of these more modern neural networks. So you get the realism of these sort of newer AI voices, but you also get the flexibility and the controllability of this older technology from the 70s and 80s. Well, even earlier technically, but it was popularized in the 80s. Yeah.
In fact, though, the Libby voice kind of reminds me of that one voice, the Microsoft Eva, the one Cortana. She kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah, it's based on a real person. So maybe it was a woman who sounded similar. It could just be that, because it's trained from real human data, which is why it sounds more human than something like Deck.
Which means, do you need to record real human voice, studio quality voice, right?
Yeah, yes, you do. I mean, the better the source material you have, the better the voice will be.
Okay, so since I, my mother tongue is Bengali, and we are in trouble of Bengali voices in various platforms in various times. So if we, let's say, give you the support of these studio quality voices and stuff like that, would you guys be able to consider it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot to adding support for a new language. You have to do the phonetics in terms of translating the actual input text, what's called the orthography, the letter, the way it's written as letters, into a phonetic transcription, which is what sounds you're actually making. So depending on what kind of language it is, how regular it is in terms of the text to phoneme conversion. For example, English is very irregular. Whereas a language like Spanish is way more regular.
What about Swedish?
Swedish is a nightmare.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that.
Not only because of the phonetics, but it's also a tonal language, such as
Yeah.
Chinese. Not with as many tones, but still, it is a bit of a nightmare. I am working on a Swedish voice based on myself, but he currently sounds like this, and he sounds very bored and upset with life.
Somehow.
Isn't Japanese also a tonal language? I can't remember. It sounds
I'm
like
not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. I would have to look into that.
It sounds like to me like it is when you listen to it, but I may be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. But anyway, to answer the question fully, absolutely, we're looking into supporting additional languages. It's just that it's way more than just recording the data. Recording the data is actually the easy part. The hard part is to do the text processing, and do like I said, the text to phoneme conversion, depending on how regular the language is in terms of the letter to sound rules, if you will. So it can be anywhere from a few weeks to several months to add support for just one language. That's why that kind of work is it's obviously very important for many people, but it does take a significant amount of time and expertise to do that, especially since I don't speak all these languages, so I would need to get to acquire that knowledge in the sense that I would need assistance from somebody who speaks it and who is aware of phonetics. So you need not necessarily a linguist, but someone in that direction.
Yeah, question. Did you ever learn Spanish, or did you learn to speak it or something, or did you have somebody do it?
Spanish? No, I don't speak Spanish, and I don't have a Spanish voice yet. But I do know that because I have friends who speak Spanish and who are very linguistically talented, who have told me that it's quite a regular conversion from text to sounds. Essentially, you can read a word and know implicitly how it is supposed to be pronounced, whereas in many other languages you have to essentially memorize the pronunciation
with no context, not knowing the definition of it or anything. You
exactly.
Can just read. Yeah.
That's also called homograph disambiguation, where you have a word that is spelled the same, such as dessert and desert. That's that's a homograph, meaning it's pronounced differently depending on what context it appears in. It has a different meaning. So that's another aspect. And then of course you have things like dates and numbers and so on, times.
And there's even there, and two, and two. That's
but those are okay. Those are okay because they are pronounced the same, right? So you can put those translate into the same phonemes.
Right.
In the most So that's why of course you have to add them But there are some ways you can sometimes get away with, I guess a data-driven model where you give it if you have a lexicon of transcribed words, you can ask the AI essentially to learn how to transcribe it. That works for many languages, but you don't need it for the languages that are incredibly regular, because then you can just hard code the rules. Yeah.
I mean, oh, sorry, I was gonna say another thing.
The story so far is, after listening, I think her name is Olga, who is the lead developer of the RH voice project, if I'm not wrong then. So after listening her interview, I mailed to the given address, and as a return, I got another mail from someone named Mark. I can't remember his full name, and he stated that his team actually develops various types of voices for RH voice or the project. So I try to convince him that whether it be possible to develop the voice, the Bengali voice or whether it would be possible to implement the Bengali voice in RH project or not, because we don't know the technical things. But yeah, since we have some sound engineers and stuff like that, so we could provide the studio quality recording, and we can do our best to support both financially, if possible, technically. So that is why I asked you, Paliv, if it is possible.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you send me an email after this show is done? Why don't you email me and we can discuss?
Yeah. Even we we host a podcast, or it's just a tea time podcast, you could say. There's no such archival thing. In Bengali, we host it is called Leave to Learn. So I would like to invite you, of course, after discussing with the colleagues, if they would like to discuss more about it then, so that you might get a better concept.
Yes, I mean, I'd be glad to. If you go to blastbay.com, that's blastbay.com, you have my email address there. So if you drop me a line, I mean, because I can do voices on commission, but I can also do it, as end user product. So that sort of depends on what the setup is, the arrangement is. But in terms of, I won't be able to speak to any kind of like how long it takes to add support for a language, because if I do it as an end user product, I have to evaluate A, how many speakers are there of that language who would benefit, and B, how difficult is it to actually add support for that language. So that's something I have to consider for every language, because I've received, a lot of requests for different languages, and I have to try to prioritize them in a way that makes sense, both for end users and for, my own scheduling and planning. So, but I would love to discuss further. So if you drop me an email, we'll take it from there.
Yeah. Let's have an initial conversation, then let's see how far it goes. Actually, one of the dark side of these projects is that I don't know what would be the effect of it, but I personally think, at least in context of India, there are lots of projects run by various varsities and stuff like that, especially varsities/colleges where engineering is taught. So they come to us and say that, okay, we made a stick which will scan your surrounding and stuff like that, and after a few days, the project is completely vanished. So basically they want some government schemes and funds and stuff like that. So it is not fun day, it's fund day. I'm sorry, but
yeah, we kind of got the drift. I know the thing, though, it's nice to see that happening, because one of those many projects, one of them may become reality. And so you and Philip get to talk about this and see where we go from here. If we have a lot of Bengali speaking population, then it may be worth doing it. And I'm not familiar with the languages in India. I thought though that Hindi was that the biggest language. Hindi, no?
Yeah, is it the most speak language? But since it is a subcontinent, South Indians like to avoid Hindi. They like to, make things on their own language. Whereas we could use, all these languages: Bengali, Hindi, English, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't even speak these other languages except for English, because I'll say this right now, I've heard these languages being spoken, but I don't even understand. I don't even understand half of them, and it's like, what is this? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
we've
some
got
political
lots of
conflicts
languages
going on.
out there. So let's move on to Hamid from TableEx. Hamid, tell us a little bit more, and most especially now that you
Excuse
have
me,
some.
please. Before we move
Yeah.
further, I'm sincerely apologize. I have to go to my dinner. And Sally, don't forget to send me the cake.
Sally, make sure you follow
Of
up on that.
course.
Okay?
Yeah, of
Because
course.
It's
And
dinner
we're
time,
gonna
Ron,
It's dinner
my
time, man.
boy.
And
Yeah, make
yeah,
sure. Make sure you send him the cake. Otherwise,
yeah,
Philip might have to.
celebration is
I
on.
guess he'll have to
Yeah.
get on you hard for that. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
yes. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Having a great time.
Thank you
And
so much.
once
Thank you
again,
so much
late
for
but a
the fun.
very, very happy anniversary. And good night.
Thank you.
From
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
See ya.
Now let's move on now to TableEx, and of course we're talking about Amit from Egypt. Amit, tell us a little bit more about TableEx in case someone is hearing us for the very first time, and most especially now that you guys have some other games added to TableEx.
Thanks. My name is Muhammad. Excuse me for this. And as I said, that we are trying to add more games in each time we can add, but also we have to edit some games for now and some functions also for the game. I don't know you are trying the game or not. If you have any question, or if you have any question of any part of the game or the platform, you can tell me. That now we are trying to make it more stable in the games and in the connection, everything. So also we need to know what is the players thinking and what the players' ideas to add these ideas in the platform. So yes,
yeah.
go ahead.
So so you guys recently added Farkle, right? So how would you be able to perform actions? Like how would you be able to perform actions? Is it gesture based, or do you just navigate using talkback? Because I've never done this before. Because it's
both actions with gestures, because we try to make it more easier for us. So we try to add gestures to help us to make it easier, but also we don't have that much gestures, because you know that the screen readers using the most of the gestures. So we have just the basic gestures like swiping down with 2 fingers and those things. So we have gestures, yes, to make it easier. Like what if I want to know I already got how much points I got right now. So we are swiping down. So we have both to make it easier. It's like if you are playing Ludo, if you swipe with 2 fingers to down, it will tell us that the positions of each player and the things. So we are trying to make it easier for us gestures with actions, of course.
okay, and it's playable using talkback, right? Or do I need to use
Talkback, G-show, anything you're using, screen
Okay.
readers. Yeah. So it's so accessible because we are blind and we did it. So it's of course it's so accessible with us.
Abdala, you are part of that team. Do you have something to talk about or a word or two to say about TableEx?
Thank you again. As Muhammad said, we working on make the game more stable, like connection stable, games stable, anything. We have added 3 games on in the last update. It's Farkle, Lodo, and Motor Strike. We trying to make the platform better for users or players. Make it easier to play the games via the gestures, as Muhammad said. So if you have any questions or suggestions or something else, you can tell to us.
Thank you so much. Lillian, we saved the last one for the pretty young lady there from Canada.
Thank you.
Tell us about RSVP, Random Scripture Verse Picker. What gave you guys the idea and all of that, and the planning and all the hard work and the difficulties and all of that good stuff? Take us down that road, shall we?
Well, it all came out of a conversation between myself and my husband, and his name is Jim Fidler. I will tell you that he's a musician, composer, producer, audio engineer. He's very professional and has, so anyway, we work a lot together. My end of things is more on the development, the visual part as well, and all of that stuff. And most recently, I've been getting into, I just became a certified AI agent developer as well. So,
congratulations.
Yeah, so that was, wow, that was quite the process to do that. And I don't know how I came out of it, to be honest. It was pretty intense, but I'm
we
very
gotta
happy.
celebrate. Like that's amazing that you did that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it involved doing a project and a capstone project, and it took me a few weeks, and I honestly didn't even know if I passed it, but I came through really well apparently, so I was very happy about that.
Hard work pays off, right?
It really does. Yeah, you definitely have to put the work in, and with this app, actually, came from a conversation. Myself and Jim were speaking, and I don't know how this came up, but he was talking about, people taking a physical Bible and just flipping through the pages and randomly putting your finger down without knowing where you are, of course. And then he said, well, obviously he can't do it. He's blind, because people do that. And I'm sure everybody's heard of that, right? Just for inspiration, or if you're in troubled times or whatever, people have done that. So then he came up with this idea. Wouldn't it be great if there was an app that you could do that with? So that's where the idea came from, and it's called Random Scripture Verse Picker. So the app, it has the entire King James Version of the Bible installed within it. So you can use this without being online. And so it's fully accessible, and it will read the verse. But the beauty of it is like, just like if you pick up the Bible and flip through it. And because if you hold your finger, can you hear that? If you hold your finger on the cross, it's you that's deciding when to release your finger.
All the vessels of the tabernacle in all the service thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass. Exodus 27:19.
So it is truly a random scripture verse picker, and you can turn the sounds off. You can turn off the narration, and all of the buttons have sounds as well. And so we did a lot of development with it between the two of us, me doing the actual programming part and Jim being the person, to decide on the narration and the sounds for the buttons and everything like that. So, and then we had people, we had a great team, including Warren, who tested it for us, and we did change some things. Actually, we made a dark mode, for example, and we just, took everybody's suggestions to heart and improved it as we could. So that's basically the gist of it, really.
So I haven't used the app yet, but I would argue, just by your description of how it works, that this actually works better than the old-fashioned way of opening the Bible, because I think when you do it with a physical Bible, you're probably like instinctually going to put your finger like near the center of a page instead of like near the top or near the bottom, or open it more towards the center of the Bible rather than like going towards the end or something. So I would argue that this is actually more random than doing it the old-fashioned way.
That's a very good point, and I've never heard anybody say that before, but I would totally agree with that, because if you know the Bible, you might be more inclined to steer it, as you say, to a specific, in the middle or the back or the front, or, but this is truly random. It's when you decide to lift your finger off the cross, and that's where you stop. So you have no idea, and it's just flipping through all the verses in the background. So yeah, I completely get where you're coming from on that.
And besides, John, your finger may be covering two verses, because you know how narrow
then you'd have
the print is.
choose one.
Yeah. So this is definitely a true verse picker. You're not going to land on two verses at the same time when placing down your finger. So yeah, brilliant observation there, John.
Hey, Lillian, I have an interesting concept for you, and I'm wondering if it's something that y'all might consider or put it to somebody in the blind Android development, blind Android developers. As a university student, I would love an app where you could just pick questions at random for not just things like trivia, but things like studying. And you could just pick a random question to see if you know it, studying for a test.
Yeah,
that would be an awesome idea. If you could do it with this app, you can do it with that.
So are you talking about, like, for example, if you're studying a certain subject?
Yeah, you could pick the subject. Like, say, if you want to do what you could do. It would take a good bit of development, but it's possible. You could pick random questions from biology, random questions from criminal justice. You know what I mean? And it just be a random question giver, so that kind of like almost. I like Quizlet, but there's some things that are not accessible, and there's graphics and stuff. So if it would be like a more accessible Quizlet sort of, but you could pick random questions.
That's very interesting and completely doable, especially now with AI agents.
Yeah.
I can see how that would really work. It would. That's very interesting. I'll have a closer look at that, because actually making it accessible, well, that would be really important and a consideration. But I find that very interesting, but it's totally doable. I'll tell you that. Making it into an app would be another part of it as well. But yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing other versions of the Bible besides the King James?
Yes, absolutely. And we've had that question before as well. And we may do it. We may do that in the future. Yeah. Well, one other thing that this one can do is also that I didn't mention, you can share a verse, like if you wanted to, if you land on a verse and you wanted to send it to somebody, you can do that as well. But yes, we have thought about doing different versions of the Bible, and which may be a very good idea.
And talking about that, we have a demonstration of the app on our YouTube channel. So definitely, if you haven't had the opportunity to install RSVP,
There will be just another kind request that would you maybe submit this to our accessible Android app directory, because we don't have it yet.
Yeah, that would be great. Let me know if there's anything that I need to do on my end or how to do that. But yeah, that would be
Absolutely.
fantastic.
I'll contact you about it.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, well, we're definitely open to working with other people, you know, for various ideas or you know, making things accessible. I'm working with a game developer right now, assisting him with some development in the game world, which I've never done before. So yeah, we're definitely open to all things, really.
So is it the email that I should contact you from the Play Store page?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you.
you know, the gaming world is taking the world by storm, and a lot of people are, you know, into gaming. It's becoming a very big industry, and what people use. So it's nice. Most especially those of us who are blind, we don't often have accessible games available to us, and this is why you know people like Muhammed and Abdala from TableEx are important, because they know where the hurting points are. They know where it hurts, and so we're finally getting people like that out, putting out games for us. And I'm most thankful to all of you guys for thinking of us.
You know, I want to talk back Simon, like a Simon game, but with talk back gestures. Can
Me
you imagine?
too. That's awesome.
I want to talk back Simon. It's like a Simon game, but with talk back gestures.
I want one
That
of
would
those.
be
I used
nice.
to play that game when I was young.
You know, it's like, you know, and it was like, and it would just use your talk back, and it's like, swipe down, down, left, right, down, up. Yeah, you get
Now,
it.
That's a good. That's a
can
good
you repeat
idea.
that?
That's
Let's
a
see if
real
you
good
can
idea.
run test.
And now, the Android Basics segment. This is a segment where we discuss the things that power your device from behind the scenes. And now, here's this week's episode, Android Basics. So that was it about, you know, our developers segment. How about now, before we though bring it to a close, and by the way, if someone needs to go, they can always leave. But how about let's talk about some of the recent happenings that have happened either in the land of Android. What are some of the things that excite you guys, or some things you're looking forward to? That segment is what we're talking about now. Either it's something you read in the news, something you're happy with, or something you're not happy with, and things of that nature. And I'm talking about Android.
I'm not happy with Samsung thinking they can get away with trying to pull Microsoft and limit their TTS to their specific apps. And I bet you one of these days they're going to be like, oh yeah, it's not available on TalkBack anymore. It's just cut you off from their TTS unless you're using like their other apps.
That's why you need a Google Pixel.
Yeah,
Exactly.
John, you want to talk about this? I know we've talked about this a little while ago. You know, the Samsung TTS. You know how it is.
So it personally doesn't bother me. I'm not a fan of Samsung TTS, but yeah, I don't understand their decision to, in One UI 7 and in One UI 8, they've restricted it so that you can't. And now, if you're using Samsung's TalkBack, it'll work. But if you're using Google's version of TalkBack or any other screen reader, it won't work. Or if you're using a third-party app to read books or whatever, you won't have access to their TTS engine. So, yeah, I
I
don't
don't like
understand.
that.
I don't understand the decision to do that.
I have a Samsung tablet, and there's books I try to read with text to speech, and their text to speech is not as easy to understand at times.
Mhm.
So, but when you use a Samsung, because I can't use the Samsung ones on a third party platform, and I like my Samsung tablet, but when I get the means, I want to get me. That's why I switched to a Chromebook too. But when I get the means, I want to get me one of them Google Pixel tablets because my Pixel phone works great with TalkBack. And by the way, I love the new TalkBack updates. It happened earlier this year.
You go, girl. Now, talking about new happenings, I'm happy to talk about the fact that Quickify is the one that I now use for my books. And I've been working with Stan, and we've talked about improving the app, and he's labeled some of those unlabeled buttons. And most importantly, though, he has made it to where it now supports headings. So say you're reading something in Word document that has headings. Now the headings are supported. And the next one that he's working on is to support links. So if you haven't used Quickify, you should give Quickify a try, because it's become such a great app now, and it's something I'm not ashamed of recommending for blind people managing reading your either Word documents or books, etc., etc. Quickify is the one to go for.
Interesting. Another thing, some of you may have noticed on either One UI 7 or 8 and Android 15 and 6, well, mainly Android 16, some of Samsung and Google's sounds had a little bit of a change. I don't know about Google's, but more likely Samsung. Some of their UI sounds got a little bit of a change, and they're kind of interesting. Have any of you guys seen that?
Yeah, I've heard. Well, I didn't notice it myself, but I have heard other people mention it with One UI 7. I don't think I think I have my system sounds turned down or something. You're talking about like this, the sounds for like battery charging and that.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. They have new sounds. I mean, both Google in Android 16 and also One UI 7 has new sounds as well. So I actually like the new sounds. I mean, I'm not a sounds guy, but I like that little sound of the when I'm entering my pin on my Galaxy S23. I like that bit. It's kind of interesting sound in there, and
Yeah,
also
it's like
the
a
battery.
mechanical
Yeah, so
button or something.
I
I
like
don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I don't know if they're moving towards like better sounding, less synthetic sounding sounds or something that sounds a bit more, I don't know, but I guess some people's Pixels, like a friend of mine, he has a Pixel 7, and his sounds didn't get changed, so he still has the same sounds that were from Android 15 and below and Android 14. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's device specific, but
That wouldn't make sense. Usually the sounds, come with the new iteration of the OS. If there's a change at all in the sounds, he should be able to have the same sounds as anyone else with that new iteration of the OS. But if something that odd is happening, probably my doctrine will be the solution, of course, and that will be to do a factory reset. But frankly, I don't know why that would be. That's really odd.
yeah, it is kind of weird. I unfortunately can't get the new sounds because I'm stuck on Android 14. Sad, but you know what? I really hope I can get either a Pixel or a newer Samsung, because yeah, these, because it's kind of stupid. And they did kind of have, and Samsung did add new sounds in their notifications as well. For those who noticed it.
Yeah, I don't do notifications. John is a witness to that. I turn off my notifications for everything. The only thing I have notifications for is messaging, and I think my doorbell, and I think there's a third one, but I only have 3 notifications I turn on. I just no notifications at all. I hate notifications. I really do. If I want to find out if I have something, I check it, but I don't want getting bothered by,
I'm the
dings and
exact
blips.
opposite, actually. I'm the exact opposite, actually, because I like customizing the crap. And what I mean customizing the crap, I literally mean customizing the crap out of my notification sounds and ringtones. I'm not even kidding.
You got to be careful when you use the word literally and crap in the same sentence.
But you know what? When I do get a new phone, okay, Philip, you will get the reference to this. And if I have to back up things, I'll be like, okay, I had enough of this rubbish now. Hey, Mr. Samsung phone, give me those apps you have. Okay, no, I'm done.
Yeah,
Give me those apps you have.
that is from level 6, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is. I'll be like, but instead, you'll say, "Hey, Mr. Samsung phone, give me those apps you have," because I'm forcing it to give me the apps that I need.
Yeah, for those who might not get the reference, it's from an old game I made when I was, I think, 13 or 14, called Tarzan Jr., where there's a line that I say, something like that, when you beat one of the levels.
Because that insane blaster.
Yes, that's right. That is more than 20 years ago now.
But yeah,
Wow, that's a classic. Nice one, then.
But yeah, many years ago. But yeah, I modified it a little bit for the Android side of things. But instead, it's like, "Hey, Mr. Samsung phone, give me those apps you have," because I'm backing it up. Because I'm backing it all up, and I have to put it all onto my computer and back up all my notifications. Okay, I you know what? I'm done. I'm done with those references.
For my notifications. I'm sorry, you're still talking.
No, it's okay.
Your voice dropped a little bit. I apologize. So
No,
for my notifications, I use the focus menu and select which ones I want notifications from and which ones I don't, because otherwise I would get a ton of notifications.
I'm sorry for the sudden references, Philip, but I decided I wanted to do that because I was bored and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna make those.
I think we'll just call it the notification Mackenzie. You like your notifications and all those sounds. I mean, I have some friends that like that.
And I'm probably going to get annoyed at the phones when I have to back things up and set new things up. So that's why I made that reference when I did. Especially if I'm using a Pixel. I mean, doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, and this is the problem that we have, and probably one of the longest problems we have is that most of our settings never really get backed up, really, from the very few. But other than that, that's another problem. For example, I happen to reset my phone whenever I get a new iteration of whatever. And so what really bothers me is that, when I reset that phone, then, like all the customized sound, like my messaging, I've usually changed it from the default to there's something, and Philip, you are from Sweden. There's a song from the group ABBA, Andante or something. So I have that, for my messaging notification. And every time, of course, I reset my phone, and I have the default pipes or whatever, and it's kind of so annoying, so it'll be nice to see if we could back up those customizations, Mackenzie, that you talk about, and have that come back restored when we restore our phone, or reset our phone rather. But right now, that is not the case. And it could be very annoying, most especially for someone like you who like a lot of, sounds and customizations of sounds. It could be a pain.
Yes, and it maybe the insane glitcher instead of the insane blaster went and deleted your set. Okay, no, I'm done. Could you imagine an insane glitcher? Oh, jeez. I should really stop right there.
Yeah.
I really should stop right there. I'm sorry for all
So, Dave,
yes.
What do you like? I know Dan got a Pixel, right? Oh no, a Samsung.
He wanted to get a Pixel. I'm not sure he got the Pixel yet.
I think, what did he get? Gosh,
he's got an S something.
Yes.
I'm stuck in the A series right now. I have an A15.
A15, right? Okay, that's a nice device, though, right? My friend that passed away had an A16 that I was helping him set up. He got that, I think that was February of this year, an A16. And I kind of like the way the A16 feels, kind of boxy. It reminds me of my Pixel or some Sony phones, that boxy feel, except that it's plastic. That's the only differentiating thing there from those ones. But yeah, it feels nice in the hand.
I want the A16. Yeah, I want the A16 if I can't get a Pixel. If I can't get a Pixel, I want the A16 because I bet it has a lot better specs and a lot better performance. I probably heard. I hope I'm right because
if it's anything like the A15 or better than the A15, I would say yes, because I had the A50 before, and I noticed a huge difference between the A50 and the A15, which I thought that was kind of backwards, that we go from 50 to 15, and 15 is actually better.
How does the A15 differ from the A13?
I have the A13.
Oh gosh, that would be miles apart.
It's just 2 years. So the second digit is the year it was released. So it's like, so the 15 is 2 years. Is like the 15 is the 2 years newer version of the 13.
Oh, so
or no.
How does the 50 work in there then?
No, the A50 was back in was that 2021?
Yeah, I want to say that's when I got it.
So the first digit is like the level. So like if it's a 15, it's like the entry level. Like for example, the 53 and the 13 come out the same year, but the 53 is like the more expensive version of the 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in reality, though, I'm surprised that you are seeing a better performance with your 15 compared to the 50, because the 50 or the 50 series, and like the 40s and the 30s and the 50s, they're supposed to be like the mid-ranger, area, and then the one whatever 15 112 1 whatever, those are supposed to be like the budget ones, and so they shouldn't be over.
But if it's the A50 like 50, that means it's 5 years older.
And
I have that in the A15.
I'm not like Warren and reset my phone once a week, So, so yeah, I haven't reset it since I got it, and so that's probably part of it. I noticed with the TTS, especially, like I have to turn off the screen, turn it back on, and then it starts working again. Like it lag. There's
Update that
so much
thing.
lag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Google
definitely, I think
TTS.
it
Yeah.
calls for a reset because in reality, it's just like our computers. After a while, you need to reset that damn computer to give it that peak performance. Excuse my Espanol. Yeah, but it's nice to see that Samsung has given us different entry points. And these days, though, to be honest, like the mid-rangers, and like we were talking, I think a couple of weeks ago, the A56 now has made it to the States. And so if one is really interested in something like that, it's a good phone to have because it kind of blurs the line between the flagship and all of that. And there are people out there that see no need of getting a flagship $1,000, for a phone when you can get one good one for like 400 plus, or 500, whatever.
Yeah.
When it's on sale, you could even get it cheaper. So yeah, I'm glad we have those other options out there.
Yeah. So the one thing that I noticed with the update, my apps are all on one, like it's a continuous scrolling now. What happened to the apps pages?
Yeah,
It depends how you sort it. When you're in the apps drawer, so if you go to the apps drawer and you hit the more options at the top right, if you sort it alphabetically, then it'll be a vertical list that you scroll. But if you set the sort to be custom, then it'll go back to pages.
Custom.
Yeah.
The more options. Okay. Yeah, I was like when I finally got I think it was One UI 7, the update happened, and all of a sudden I went to scroll through my apps page, and I'm like, wait a minute, what happened?
Yeah.
You got the vertical stuff now. I like
Oh,
the
believe
vertical
me,
stuff.
I would have been confused too because I usually don't like sudden change, and was like, wait, what? I like when I see sudden change, it really
It
throws
throws
me
you
off.
off. Yeah. Well, one thing I've always said about the Samsung guys, they keep some things, consistent. For example, that open settings is always there in the same place. I mean, Google has changed it, a couple times now. It used to be up there on the top, and then I don't remember as to what version of the OS that it got moved to the bottom. I'm thinking, was that 11 or 10 or 12? One of those. But Samsung, though, has kept some things consistent. The other thing that I'm glad to see Samsung changed is, usually in the system settings, we used to have the tabs. You got the general tab, you got the connection tab, just like what LG used to have. And I didn't like that, but now to see them have it, the way that the Pixel has it and just scrolling down, I kind of like that.
Sorry to butt in. I just wanted to say that I have a few more minutes, but I'm going to have to leave soon. So maybe if somebody has anything they want to ask or discuss, I would love to answer. But
I had a few questions. First off, are you so question? Because just out of complete curiosity, for others, so when you release an NVDA add-on for the voices, instead of just having to use it via SAPI, because sometimes SAPI can't always be used for certain reasons, are you going to have the serial keys work with the SAPI version and the add-on as well, or is everybody going to have to rebuy?
Oh no, that would be outrageous. No, it is the same serial numbers for the voices. Like you buy the voice, you have the voice. That's basically it. So whether it's through the NVDA add-on or SAPI or that's the only time.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna say the only time when it's a separate thing and there's a couple of reasons for this, is when it's for the phones, then it is a separate thing. It's going to be cheaper, but it is very difficult for me to. I would have to do my own copy protection on Android. So I'm just going to go through the regular Play Store. So it will be a different product there. But for for the desktop environments like Windows, Mac, and Linux, it's all one. But yeah, for Android and iOS, it's going to be separate.
Yeah. Question: have you thought about because we don't have this things for certain Chrome OS things? Have you thought of making these available as well for Chrome OS? Just as an extension or something?
To be honest with you, I know very little about Chrome OS. Of course, I know
That's
of
a
it,
good
but
question.
yeah, but I, to be honest with you, I don't know enough about it to say how easy or difficult it would be to adapt. But in general, it's just C code. So if I can build C code and it can run natively, then I can make it work. So it's I don't know enough about Chrome OS to be able to tell you right off the bat, but yeah. But
I think you could do it. I think you could do it because I use other text-to-speech apps, and they're connected through my browser extensions. I've used Natural Reader and Speechify, but they're paid apps.
Yeah, and they're cloud-based too, are they not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and these days, though, most especially if Google is considering merging Android and Chromecast, Chrome OS together, I wouldn't even bother myself about trying to write something specific for Chrome OS, really, to be honest.
I mean,
I don't know enough about it at this stage. I would have to do some research into it, but if it's going to be merged eventually with Android, I'll obviously start by supporting Android, and if I get Chrome OS for free, that's just a benefit.
Yeah, because honestly, Chrome OS is, well, I don't know about Chrome OS Flex, because I don't know if that'll be merged with Android, but actual Chrome OS probably will one of these days. I don't know when, but it more than likely will be merged. And another oh, sorry, I was gonna say.
No, you go ahead. I was just gonna agree with you and say with the emergence of AI and how fast it's growing, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
Yeah. So another question is, how are you going to make the add-on, the NVDA add-on be installed? How are you gonna obviously, are you gonna have it be an add-on page where it's all the voices bundled into one add-on, or is it gonna be an engine thing as one add-on and then the other voices as two separate add-ons, just like the installers for the SAPI?
I'm not 100% sure yet, but what I'm thinking about right now is to have the installer for the voice as is. It'll install it as SAPI, but it will also expose it to the NVDA add-on. So you would install the NVDA add-on on its own. It would be empty. It would be an empty shell. And then as soon as you install one or more voices, they will appear there. And if you have registered, if you have a licensed version of one of the voices, that'll just work automatically. Whereas if you don't, it's gonna go through the NVDA add-on but be in demo mode. So there would be one installation for the NVDA add-on, which would act as a sort of bridge, and then you would install the voices separately the way you do now, which means you would get them both for SAPI and the NVDA add-on in the same installer.
And you would connect to your license.
Kind of bridge, yeah, so kind of I think Freedom Scientific did something like that with JAWS and vocalizer voices in NVDA. I don't know why they would do that, but I guess that's how they did it. But
yeah, this is not finalized yet. This is just what I'm thinking out loud. So it's just chain of thought at this point, or what I'm thinking.
So it's just kind of a thing of a add-on type thing, just so.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be nice to have to install one add-on per voice. That would not make sense. I would not like that.
Right. Additionally, what you could do is have those like for install for like you could make them checkboxes.
Yes,
Like
of course.
Yeah, checkboxes. You can
Yeah.
make them checkboxes, and then it'll be like just like, and then it'll install not only to your SAPI engine, but it will also install to your NVDA. And I don't know if you knew this, but SAPI 5 was last updated either when Windows 7 was released or Windows 8. I can't remember, but that's
We've got SAPI 5.4 at this point.
Yeah.
Is where we're at. Yeah. No, but that's not necessarily an issue in and of itself, because SAPI is really just an interface for custom text-to-speech engines to communicate with whatever. So in fact, it is a benefit that it is not being updated, because it means we don't have breakage, for old versions, old voices. It's backwards compatible.
Looking at you like Microsoft Anna, just as an example.
Yeah, that was atrocious.
Microsoft Anna was just terrible. I hate to say it, but like she just, especially
don't hate on my girl there.
Who is Microsoft Anna?
Microsoft Anna is it's a voice that used to be available in Windows Vista.
Windows narrator.
Yeah.
Was it like pre-Zira?
Oh, way before. Yes. Yeah. It was the generation before. So Zira and they're all LPC based, linear predictive coding. Anna might be, but it's more unit selection, so it's basically splicing recordings and very badly.
And Microsoft Sam, Mike, and Mary. You guys can't forget you can't forget these three. These were diphone based, if I'm not wrong, right, Philip?
No, you're right. You're right. They were.
Anna's more robotic too. And she's like breaky. She's like, I like the newer voices.
Yeah, but diphone based voices are not necessarily bad. It's more about how you make it, continuous, how you without going into the details so much, with like how you diphones are basically just ways of finding little units in a database. Now, if you have a good database, you could make diphone voices that don't have any artifacts whatsoever. So it is not inherently a limitation of diphone selection that means you get bad synthesis. There are other factors when reconstructing the signal than that.
But and one core, which is Microsoft David and Zira, these are HMM.
They may be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and then you obviously got the Microsoft Azure, like Aria, Jenny, Guy, and these guys, which sound much better than David Zira. Not everybody likes the one core voices, actually. Some people are not huge fans, actually, because some people think these voices kind of sound a little bit, not so good.
The Swedish one is horrible. I'll say that.
Oh yes, I've heard that one. That he sounds terrible. The only exception is Eva. She actually sounds half decent. I don't know if you've heard her, but
she's good.
Yeah, she actually sounds half decent at least, because remember, she was Cortana at one point. And she actually does exist for, if you use registry, there are registry files that you can literally just or not exactly but you can like make her voice work for, but she does have a terrible pitch glitch problem thing, which I mentioned to you once.
All good things must end. Thus, it's curtain drawing time, bringing us to the close of this week's episode. Coming up, though, we give you information on how to get hold of us. Well, folks, thanks a lot for joining us today, and we would like to conclude this. And first, though, we'll have that information. John will give you information on how to get hold of us. And here's John to give you information if you want to get in touch with us. Here's John.
To contact us, simply send an email to contactus@blindandroidusers.com. If you'd prefer, you can leave a voicemail by calling +1 307 202 9797. You can join our mailing list by sending a blank email to blindandroidusers+subscribe@groups.io. You can join our Facebook and Telegram groups or subscribe to our YouTube channel using the links in the podcast show notes or YouTube video description. And you can find all of this information and more at our website, blindandroidusers.com.
Thank you so much, John, for that. And with that, though, we want to say goodbye. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. From me, Warren, here, I want to say goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. See you later.
Or bye-bye. Farewell. We're leaving.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. Until we see you next week, don't forget to leave us your comments and suggestions via our email contact or using any of our social media sites. Have a great week.